So the big question today is, do we need to be concerned about the market sell-off we saw this afternoon? And I would say no, because it wasn't a broad-based market sell-off. When you see all sectors selling off in unison, then I would say we can be a little bit worried. But this was clear rotation, and we have a few key hints as to why that was happening. Heck, even if you just simply compare the S&P 500 daily chart to the Nasdaq daily chart, when you compare those candle closes, yes, the S&P had selling, but it was not nearly as strong as the very heavy selling we saw in the tech-heavy Nasdaq. That had a much more bearish candle today. So the shakeout today was marked by traders rotating out of those high beta tech names and into defensives. Mega cap tech, semiconductors, they really took the brunt of the selling, with QQQ puts seeing heavy flows as funds hedged Nasdaq exposure. Now the pressure lined up with a modest uptick in Treasury yields and the overhang of the government shutdown, which really wasn't a big deal at first, and now is adding some uncertainty because economic data is not being released, which makes projecting the Fed's policy path more challenging. I really don't know why we just can't stick with the thesis from last week until things get back to normal. It's beyond me. But the market can be a bit mercurial at times, so we as traders really need to work extra hard to stick with our thesis and convictions. But even though we saw selling in a lot of the names that we trade here, money didn't leave the market entirely. As I mentioned just before, it rotated. Utilities and other defensive sectors caught a strong bid, showing that investors weren't panicking, but were simply rebalancing. So the overall takeaway is that the selling looked more like tactical hedging and a bit of profit taking, I'm sure, in crowded tech trades rather than full-blown liquidation. So for traders, the key tell is relative strength right now. Names and sectors that held support into this rotation are the ones that are most likely going to lead once that risk appetite comes back in. Quantum.